Welcome to the Living a Nordic Life podcast, where we explore a simpler, cosier and more intentional life the Nordic way. I'm Fiona McKenna, your Nordic living guide and founder of Living a Nordic Life, where I share all things Nordic living and show you that a Nordic life is the way to bring intentional calm and healthy habits into your own life, wherever you are in the world. Are you looking for ways to bring simplicity, coziness and calm into your life? Well, let me show you how. Visit the Living a Nordic Life website to explore how I can help you on your journey to simple, healthy and happy calm, the Nordic way. You can subscribe to the podcast right here. And if you want regular inspirational emails sent with love from Norway and straight to your inbox, don't forget to subscribe to the Living a Nordic Life newsletters. And so now let's dive into our episode. Welcome to a personal look at the Norwegian confirmation. Last May, that was 2025, Millie, who we also call Amelia, that's her name, is my middle child. And she was confirmed in a traditional way here in Norway, which is where we live. And as I'm often asked about normal, everyday life, I thought it would be nice to share a little bit about the time leading up to the confirmation and the day itself and the traditions that are around this very Norwegian rite of passage in my mind. So I want to invite you to join me and my family for a glimpse into the special day of the Norwegian confirmant. When children in Norway reach the year of their 15th birthday, they don't actually have to be 15, it's the year of their 15th birthday, they're given the option to have a confirmation. They don't have to be confirmed, most do. I don't know what the percentage is of children that do get confirmed, but in our personal experience as a family, it's everybody. In many cultures, this means being confirmed into the Christian church. And most children here in Norway do actually do that. It's a rite of passage, and it's something that's been done for hundreds of years. I mean, wherever you are, you're probably familiar with this as well. It marks that transition from childhood to adulthood. Even though they're only 15, this is something that several hundred years ago, 15-year-olds would have been considered adults. Even though legally, they are still children. As Norway has become more and more secular, there are so many different religions here. Christianity is not, the only religion. And because of that, traditional church confirmations are not the only way that a teenager can take part. There are now civil options. And they take place in the town hall. But they're no less serious and no less important than a church confirmation. But it doesn't matter anymore what religion you are, or not. You don't even have to have a religion. You can just, be atheist. It means that you and your child don't have to miss out on this really typical Norwegian rite of passage. The confirmation might seem like it is just a celebration of the day itself. And I have to say, when I first moved to Norway, one of my first introductions to Andre's family, we hadn't known each other very long, was a confirmation. It was my niece's confirmation and everybody was there and it was really quite overwhelming. But for me, and for several years after that, I thought that the confirmation was about the day. But actually, it isn't. It takes place for weeks before that. The teenagers have to attend lessons, either at church or at a school or village hall or wherever it happens to be, to learn how to be responsible adults. They need to learn how to behave in society and how to begin to navigate the adult world. Topics might include acceptance of different walks of life and different ways of life and different life choices, the understanding of adult responsibilities, and general good behaviour that's going to prepare them for a life in society, because they're not going to be living as hermits. and a society that needs everyone to take responsibility for their own actions and work towards a better future. Although my family, we would call ourselves Christian, and all my nieces and nephews have had church confirmations, we are not practising churchgoers. I will go to church on the odd occasion with my mum when I go to England, simply because I like the atmosphere. I really love church buildings, they're beautiful. And I like the way they smell inside, and they're cold and they're very quiet. It's lovely. And I do like the singing. But we're not churchgoers as a family. We don't go to church every Sunday. If we do go, it's usually a christening or a confirmation or, sadly, a funeral. Occasional marriage, but I don't know very many people who have got married here, I have to say. So we haven't been to a wedding, only our own, which was in the church hall, in the town hall. To be confirmed in Norway, you have to be part of the Norwegian church. It's something that babies are automatically made part of when they're born in Norway. Seems very archaic to me. But in order to not be part of the Norwegian church, you have to actively ask to be removed. Strange, but true. Millie was born in England, and she has never been a member of the Norwegian church, and I don't think she would want to be either. She's got some teenagers' views, let's say, on, fairly strong views, informed views about, the universe and how we were created. But she felt much more comfortable having a secular confirmation. So once a week for 10 weeks before the date of the ceremony, she attended confirmation classes with a bunch of other 14 and 15-year-olds who were also being confirmed on the same date. They learned together about how to be a good citizen, what it means to have a responsible part in modern Norway. And at the end of it, we were given a date for the ceremony. There is no choice. You are given a date. This is the date that it's happening, and you just have to make it work. But as most of us had been kind of working towards this for at least a year before, it's not a surprise. The date of the confirmation, church or secular, is usually in May or June. Sometimes it's in the autumn. It depends really how many children are being confirmed that year. If there's a huge number, then they have to kind of split it into two. It's never over the summer because people aren't around. And May and June is when the weather's beautiful. And May is a kind of celebration month here anyway in Norway because we have National Day. June, we have Midsummer. So you have 2 months where people are kind of preparing to be outside, celebrate, hosting events. The day of the confirmation itself, the ceremony, starts with the children gathering together either at church or the town hall. And it's customary for everyone to wear bunad, which is Norwegian national dress. And it's not one particular outfit. Every region has its own variation, different colours. And within that region, you also get bunads from different times. So you might have somebody wearing one that's very traditional and styled upon something from the 1800s, or you might have somebody wearing one that is from the 1950s. But they are all beautiful. An awful lot of workmanship and an awful lot of money. They're also extremely heavy. There's a lot of fabric, so you have to be pretty fit to be able to wear one all day. But if you don't have bunad, then it's usual to wear something really smart, like a suit and a tie, or some kind of formal dress. All the guests are similarly dressed, and it's really impressive to see so many beautiful traditional outfits from all over Norway. The children themselves usually wear bunad as well. This is a time for parents to push the boat out a bit and either have a bunad made for them that's from the region where they're from, or to buy something called festrakt, which is a kind of imaginary bunad, shall we say. Not like the Emperor's New Clothes, but something that doesn't stick to any particular tradition, but keeps with the kind of general theme, but it isn't from any particular area. And it's the first time for them to wear these bunads, and they will have gone to a lot of time and trouble to get them fitted and to have them made, because there's a lot of embroidery and workmanship goes into it. So everybody looks really impressive. The ceremony itself takes about an hour, and each confirmant comes forward to accept their certificate to say that they've completed the confirmation course and are now confirmed. And if it's at church, there is the usual church ceremony that goes with that. They sing a song together, and we take a moment to congratulate them on their journey into the adult world. Once the ceremony's over, it feels a little less formal and a bit more relaxed. And everybody spills out of the church or the town hall and they mingle a little bit. Photographs are taken, lots of photographs. And people catch up with one another. Often you see friends whose children are being confirmed at the same time, or members of the family whose cousins are being confirmed. And it feels festive and joyful, with lots of happy faces and proud families. The day continues with a family celebration, either at home or in a village hall or at a hotel, if you don't want to do the cooking yourself. We have, as a family, always hosted the celebrations at home. We all like cooking, so it gives everybody a chance to do a little bit of something. Or at least with Millie's, that was the plan. It didn't go entirely as we were expecting, because the week before, my dad had fallen really ill. And Millie and I travelled to England to be with my mum while Dad was in hospital. The confirmation was booked, and of course it can't be changed, for the 11th of May. And we flew home on the 9th of May to prepare. It was a very short preparation, because it was so stressful. My sister-in-law Benta and her husband Ulla offered to host the party at their house. They have a beautiful house. And I'm sure it wasn't designed like this, but it certainly feels like it was built for entertaining. It's expansive and it's open and it's absolutely ideal. When we arrived on the Saturday, because the confirmation was on the Sunday, they had done the most incredible job and it all looked amazing. All we had to do was add a bit of decor and sort out the buffet. Millie decided that she wanted a colour scheme of red and black. Slightly unconventional for a confirmation, but it was her decision. But we did manage to make a compromise on white tablecloths and white crockery. So it wasn't completely dark and like you were walking into some kind of gothic novel. If you're wondering, my dad didn't get better. He died in the very early hours of the 12th of May. So it was just after midnight on the day after Millie had been confirmed. And it felt to us like he'd hung on until that last minute, so that it wasn't the day of Millie's confirmation. But back to her day. After everyone's gathered together and made their way from the church to home, it's fun and informal. Time is taken to chat and catch up, and the confirmant is given gifts. And we start to put a buffet together. Quite often people will get friends or other members of the family to come and help and sort of wait tables, if you like. But we thought we'd just do it ourselves. And everybody helps, which is really, really nice. Confirmation gifts are usual to give, and most often it's money. I find that as an English person who doesn't like talking about money, because we don't, it's a bit of a taboo subject. I find that very awkward because you have to put a price on something. But as with so many things here in the Nordics, there are very strict guidelines about this, kind of unspoken, and things are kind of boxed, if you like. So you know how much to give, you know how much other people are going to give, and it all feels very sensible. It's also very practical, really, when you think about it, because the young person being confirmed can then use the money to buy something that they want. And quite often it's something like a moped, or it might be a new PC, or they might save it. It can accumulate to quite a lot of money. Parents give the most, followed by grandparents and siblings, then aunts and uncles, cousins, friends, and even neighbours. In 2025, the average amount each confirmant received was 28,000 kroner, which is about $2,800. But it does vary from region to region, so that's taking into consideration, spit it out, everything. So you would probably find that in Oslo, where people earn a little bit more, it's more than that, and perhaps in more rural areas, it's a bit less. I had done quite a bit of preparation the day before for Millie's party, and my sisters-in-law had helped out with some delicious salads, apart from the preparation that Bente and Ulla had done at their house, which was amazing. Most celebration buffets in Norway seem to have the same format. And I've written about this quite a lot on my blog, so go and have a look, because I've written a little bit about how to plan a kind of Norwegian party or a Norwegian buffet, because they are never a surprise. I mean, there might be the occasional salad that you don't expect, or a cake that you've never seen before, but otherwise you could probably walk into any summer or Christmas or celebration buffet anywhere in Norway, in any household, and it would be pretty much the same. They're usually a selection of dressed salads of various sorts. There's generally one that's always there, potato salad, and there might be a pasta salad. A lot of charcuterie, ham, servelat, some pâté perhaps, lots of different salamis, cheese and bread. It might look on the surface like it wouldn't be terribly filling, but everyone keeps going back for seconds and thirds. And it's a chance to have a relaxed and informal buffet where everyone can choose their favourite dishes. Millie's special request for food was her Tante Lisa's potato salad. She absolutely loves it. So Lisa had very kindly made a huge vat of it. And of course, after, it's followed by plenty of coffee and the cake buffet. Simple food like this can be really beautiful with some clever presentation and careful garnishes, and just simply the way you lay it out. We made a point of going to our favourite butcher in a nearby town called Kragerø, which is about an hour's drive from us, but we do like going there. And he makes the most amazing everything, actually. But he makes the most amazing hams and salamis. And we filled the buffet out with freshly made salads of every kind, fresh bread from the baker, and simple luxuries like some really nice, good butter and some artisan cheese. Every confirmant wants a pretty cake. Who doesn't? Often they're topped with a photo. And we did that for Brendan, I have to say, but Millie didn't want that. But we decided that we would keep it simple. It was a classic sponge filled with fruit and cream and covered in marzipan. And that's the kind of traditional cake for many celebrations here if you don't have a bløtkaker. It's rather like a bløtkaker, but it has marzipan on the outside. And it keeps everything intact, I have to say. And it can look really pretty. It's usually very simple, with a few marzipan flowers on the top and some chocolates perhaps, and some piping, just to, writing, just to say what the cake is for. And the bonus of them is that they will keep for a few days. And actually, to be honest, I think they get better the day after they've been made. It's a favourite here. The cake table is the finale to the day and something that everyone looks forward to and takes their time over. And I would always expect people to go back for seconds and thirds and more. And usually if we have anything left after parties, people take some home too. The day concludes with everyone saying their farewells and leaving the confirmant to finally take a breath as the family cleans up. With many families, however, the festivities might continue the following day as well, because you have so much food that you want to share it out. And this is an opportunity to celebrate with friends and neighbours, be a lot more relaxed. This is a time maybe for a simple dress or some jeans or shorts even. The buffet's refreshed and brought out, and everyone helps to finish it. Because never let it be said that Norwegians don't over-cater. The day is one to be remembered for the whole family and for the person who's been confirmed forever. People do reminisce about it even when they get to be adults. And it's a time for celebration, joy and looking forward. And I will see you in the next episode. If you've enjoyed this episode, please subscribe to the Living a Nordic Life newsletters so you can get an email when I release a new episode. It's a quick and easy way to keep up with all things Nordic living. Please visit livinganordiclife.com. You can listen to Living a Nordic Life on lots of podcast apps, including Spotify, Apple Podcast, Google Podcasts, and plenty of others. If you've enjoyed the Living a Nordic Life podcast, why not leave me a rating? So that's the end of Living a Nordic Life for today, and I look forward to seeing you next time.